consistent with the vision and really drives economic growth and innovation around the sectors, healthcare and life sciences that we've described. So there is, as has been discussed, this is a two-part request for proposal with the next key deadline coming up March 6th, which would be that phase one submission that details the qualifications, the composition of the team, the conceptual approach, and the initial commitments. There will be an evaluation of those proposals that are received with an expectation to bring forth recommendations to the full commission at its next meeting on March 18th, so roughly a little less than 2 weeks after the due date submissions. The idea would be then to shortlist developers from those initial proposals, and we would then enter into a much more detailed discussion and offering that is proposed to be due on the 1st of May, as noted not only in the RFP but on the slide. That will be an interactive process. We will have confidential interactions with those shortlisted developer teams, and at that point would also be looking for some comment back on the form of the redevelopment agreement. We will post in the phase 2 process a sample copy of redevelopment agreement that will have features that we feel are critical. We don't anticipate entering into an actual redevelopment agreement as part of that phase 2 process, but at the end of phase 2, again, at a May commission meeting, which I believe is May 21st, it's always the third Tuesday of the month. Again, we would hope to be able to bring back recommendations to the commission for a selected developer or development team. Now, we recognize this is an aggressive schedule, but again, it highlights sort of the sense of urgency that we have to move forward with what we believe is a superb development opportunity. But this session really is designed to be interactive. We did want to present the highlights, elements of the proposal that's been issued, give you a little bit of the thinking that went into to its design. At this point, I do need to remind you, although we're going to have a robust question and answer session, it's part of the reason for having this meeting, but at that point, and we are in what is described as a quiet period, it is put forth in great detail in the RFP, so please pay particular attention to that. So essentially, after today, after this session, any conversations should only be in the form of a written communication and submitted to Peter Negro as the primary contact. We are not permitted at the staff level or at the commission level to have any conversations with you about the nature of the project development. Again, we will reserve that right in phase 2 to have confidential discussions with the shortlisted developers. But in this phase 1 process, certainly no communications can be had. And communications that are had in writing, there will be responses posted on the website for the benefit of everyone. It's obviously just designed to provide equal access of information and total transparency to anyone interested in proposing. with that, the other purpose of this type of session is to permit networking opportunities. We realize that there will be a number of likely development teams that are put together. We will be posting also on our website the list of everyone that not only attended today's session, but the list of those that had pre-registered that, for various reasons, due to weather and travel conditions, weren't able to attend, so that you can see who at least has expressed some initial interest. And again, I mean, we certainly would encourage the networking among those various parties. All right, so we're at the fun part. We're going to open it up to questions and answers. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Peter Negro. And again, if you would please come to the podium with questions, and don't be shy. Somebody's got to get it started, so please.
Thanks, Warren. So we'd ask everybody, anybody that has a question, like Warren said, step up to the podium. Please tell us who you represent and your name. These questions are being recorded as well as the answers, and again, we will post them on the website. During the course of this RFP, we will do our best to get these questions answered in an expedient manner. Okay, with that, who's first? Must have been a pretty comprehensive presentation.
And well-written RFP, that's great. There's no questions.
Okay, there's got to be some questions. Anybody? And anybody from the team is available to respond.
Obviously, today's not your last opportunity to ask a question, but we certainly welcome them today.
Thanks, John.
John Mango, HSA Commercial Real Estate. Can we get any more guidance from Cook County regarding their office space lease, the economics, the term of the lease, the requirements for the skywalk from the proposed building to Cook County Hospital? Who's going to pay for that? Is there any more detail we can get on that?
Not until phase 2, John, likely not until phase 2. The walkway is going to be funded by the developer. So if it creates an incentive or if that works into the developer's plan, then it would be funded by the developer.
And I would add the key component of that is one of connectivity. We sort of alluded to that earlier. If you look at the sites, there's a clear need from Cook County. The opportunity of putting something on 2020 Ogden is a nice one. However, it's separated by Ogden and Damon. And so you've got a safety issue, quite honestly, if you're going to be shuttling a lot of folks back and forth from Stroger to the office. So the issue is safety. How we solve that, the suggestion was some kind of, either above grade or below grade, or, we're looking for creativity on that. So it's open to how you solve it, but I think the key issue really is getting people back and forth. And Pete's right, the other, in terms of economics, I think if we get into that, look at what the program requirements may be. If that enhances your proposal in the phase, in the part 1 submittal, include it, and then we can engage at a later date.
And the office space really there's going to be a lot of movement back and forth, because it really needs to be adjacent. It can't be put somewhere, I mean, people have asked if it can be put somewhere else downtown or West Loop. This is space that really needs to be in the area. And I think, while we have John Cook, I don't know, John, if you want to talk at all, because again, we don't want you to kind of pound the county in the first phase, but as long as John's here, I don't know if, John, you want to kind of offer up any other thoughts. One thing I will offer is, we have talked to the county, John, and they do want to move quickly with it. So it's not an issue that the county will be dragging its feet if there's a proposal that makes sense. But this may be, one of the benefits is the expediency of it.
Thank you, Kim. So yes, the goal of the county, we're still in the process of right-sizing the office needs, so that's why you have the wide range. But the employees that we're looking to maintain here, their presence in the medical district will be required, and so there's a lot of flexibility still in terms of how things will firm up. And as we go through the phases and the needs for all the things you asked for, we'll discuss at that time. But we're still going through the analysis of OpEx on our existing building and where the savings are and where those opportunities. So until we really have some more details on what the programs consist of, we can then start to do some